Hi everyone, I'm Trisha and I'm founder of Look Fabulous Forever, which is makeup specifically formulated for older faces, eyes and lips. Today I'm really delighted to be with Helen, who lives at a McCarthy Stone development in Weybridge in Surrey. McCarthy Stone are developers of retirement communities for the over 60s, and today we're going to do a wonderful makeover on Helen so that she looks particularly glamorous for the coming festive season.
Hello there, I'm Julie and this is the lovely Helen, and I am here to do a Christmas makeover on her. Helen is 82, looking fabulous, and we've worked out that Helen is cool toned, so she suits wonderful colours like blues and purples and that kind of thing. I'm a warm tone, might be able to see the difference in us. So anyway, we have just applied the face prime all over. And what that does is it helps to fill fine lines and pores, and it helps your makeup to sit longer on your skin, and it just does not move. And we call it smooth like silk face prime, so it does actually feel like silk. So the Light Look Beauty Balm, I'm going to rub all over his face. Almost think about it as if it's a moisturiser, so it goes everywhere. So starting down the centre, pushing out to the side, right into the hairline. So that's giving her a nice one-tone look. Go in the corners here, there we go. How does that feel, Helen?
Wet.
Wet. It's quite
smooth. I know, really. It's so easy.
Yeah, no.
Sorry.
But if you can see that it's given her a one-tone look, but it's quite natural looking. It's also slightly dewy, so it's not drying. Now I'm just going to apply a little bit of our continuous cover foundation, which is slightly heavier. So you're going to mix them both together and just put that in the areas that might need that little bit more attention. So same spot on my hand, tiny little bit. Same brush, and just make sure you cover all the bristles. So I'm just going to do a little bit on the nose, cheeks, a little bit on the chin. Anywhere you feel may need a little bit more coverage. So the next product is the concealer. So a concealer is great for covering just the little age spots or any purpleness you might have. You don't need much of this. It's just to dab it in those little areas. So we've got little bits and pieces just there.
There, definitely.
Yeah, yeah. All these little freckles that are everywhere.
Yes.
Yes. A little bit of purpleness in the corner of the eye, around the nose. There we go. I think we've covered everything. Just with a quick look. A little bit over here. What we've done there is we've taken things away, and now we want to add. This is an eye prime. We only want a tiny amount. You see that? So small. Now I am going to put that on the lids only. So this helps the eyeshadow to stay longer, stay put on, so it doesn't move. Now you can put it on with this brush and again pat it in with your finger. So this will also help to cover any discoloration on the lids. We tend to kind of have a little bit purple in these areas. There we go. So once we just let that dry for a second or two, we can then apply the eyeshadow. I'm going to apply a lovely dusting of this Lilac Mist. Now our eye shades are no shimmer, so there's no glitter, no sparkle, which it's very difficult to find no shimmer eye shades, but we do them. And this colour is, as I say, it's Lilac Mist. So I'm just going to pat that onto Helen's eyelids, just the lids. I'm actually going to be using 3 colours today. We're going to have a nice smoky eye look for Christmas. Now the next colour I'm going to use is going to really be the kind of socket area, a little tiny bit extra on the edge, but I'm just going to show you this little trick. So this trick is to help to lift the side of your face so it makes the whole thing look like it's going up. So what I'm going to do is put a bit of tissue between the corner of the eye here and the end of the brow. So right there. Now the trick is not to go straight onto the eyes, to start on the tissue and then build up from there. And then you can sweep that across like a little window eye. Now if I take that away, you can see that's exactly where the eye shadow should be, and it helps to it gives the illusion that the eye's lifted on one side. That's blended in nicely too, which goes with the colour that we put on the lid originally. So next thing is I'm going to apply the eyeliner. Again, it's not pencil, it's a no shimmer eye shade. We're going to apply it on top of Helen's lids. Now, I wouldn't be able to do that because my eyes, if I look in the mirror, I can't see my lids. So I cannot put a liner on top because it makes my eyes disappear into the back of my head. Whereas with Helen, when Helen looks in the mirror, she can see her lids. So we're going to slightly reduce the size by putting the liner on top and a little bit on the bottom. So tell me, Helen, how many parties do they have here?
How many parties?
Do they have lots of Christmas?
We've got a Christmas party.
Yeah.
We've got one for the first year celebration. And, yeah, I think there's been the two, if I remember correctly. We've got a Macmillan coffee morning.
Oh, that's exciting.
Tomorrow morning.
There we go. Open your eyes, Helen. So you can see what's happened there. So it's given a beautiful, it's helping to lift. And we're reaching that part where we put the tissue on this. So it's on the edge here. We're now going to carry that down to the bottom. Now with this little tiny wedge brush, it's got a little point here, which you could probably just use to go in between the lashes if you don't want to do the whole eye. So it gives the illusion of thick eyelashes. So if you look up for me slightly, that's it. So we are going to carry on with this side of the face so that at the end of this makeover you can see and compare the difference it makes on how you apply your eye makeup. So we'll carry on with this one, we'll show you the difference at the end. So I am going to add some blusher, and we've got this lovely rosy glow, which looks lovely with cool tones. Helen tells me she's never worn blusher, so I understand people do say that, oh, but I've got red cheeks. But once you've got your base on and everything's one tone, believe me, blusher makes a difference. Right, here we go. So now we're going to pop it on just at the middle of the eye, on the apple of the cheek here, and we're going to dab the sides here. Think of a tadpole shape, I suppose you could call it. You can put it on with your finger, but it's quite good to blend with the brush afterwards, so I'm actually going to do that as well. I'm going to pat it on with my finger, shape on the apple, and just, we have a little pop of colour. So if you can imagine the eye's going that way, the blush is going that way, we're going to add the Instant Bright highlighter, which is going to sit in between, and that's going to help to lift the whole side of Helen's face. So we're going to add the highlighter just above where we have the blusher and under the brow, but we're going to bring it round almost like a C shape. Now this is a highlighter that's not glittery, it's not sparkly, it kind of catches the light, so when you're chatting, talking, moving your head, it just slightly catches that, and again helps that lift. So I'm going to put a little bit here and dot it under the brow. Now this highlighter can be used for so many different areas of the face. You can apply it into the lines here, between the eyes, down the nose. It's just a great, anything that's deep and dark and sits into the skin, you want to bring it out. So you lighten it, bring it forward. Now you can see it's actually softening all of what's going on here, but it's also just slightly catching the light above the blusher and the brow bone. Doesn't that look lovely? Right, so now we're going to move on to Helen's eyebrows. As you can see, Helen's brows are fantastic. Great colour, great shape, she still has them. So first and foremost, what I'm going to do is just give them a quick brush through before we apply what's called our brow shape. The brow shape is it's a fabulous product. It's got a tiny little brush and you just paint on the little tiny hairs. You can fill in gaps or just add the tail that's gone missing. But it's a fantastic product and it is waterproof, it's smudge proof, so you can wear it with confidence. So first of all, let me just brush these through. In fact, she probably doesn't really need the brushing through. I know I do, mine kind of fall downwards, but Helen's eyebrows are great. So I am now going to apply the brow shape, starting in the centre and working out to the tail. Now the reason I do that is sometimes you might have too much on the brush and you don't want to have a big blob at the beginning. So just tiny little flicks like so. I'm just going to lengthen very, very slightly here. And once we've done that, we can spoolie that through. I'm now going to brush Helen's brows through just to soften the edges of those little marks we've just made. And that gives you a fabulous natural brow look. You need to give me the number of your brow person. So now we're going to add a little bit of lid colour, which is, we do this in 3 colours, and I'm going to apply the silver mist, which will look lovely with these purpley colours we've got on Helen's eyes. So the lid colour is going to add a little bit of shimmer, which will help to light the eye area up. Great to wear when you're going out in the evening. Now I'm going to you can either put it on with a brush. I'm going to use my finger because I just want to kind of put a dab right in the middle of Helen's lid. So it's just here, very close to the lashes. We don't want to put it all over. Just blend that in. And I'm also going to add a little bit into the corner of the eye. There, right there in the corner. And that just kind of helps separate the eyes and send them up in that same direction. Now I'm going to apply the lip prime to Helen's lips. And it's going to go on the outer edge of her lips, not on the lips themselves, because it's acting as a barrier. So right on the outer edge. I just want it to dry while I'm doing the mascara. Now what the lip prime does is it stops the lipstick bleeding and feathering into the fine lines around the mouth. Okay, so the lip prime, as I say, goes on the outer edge of the lips. Just the outer edge, not on the lips themselves. Now I'm going to let that dry. You can pat it in with your finger. And while that's drying, I'm going to add your mascara.
At last.
Now Helen's always wore black mascara, you tell
Always,
me, yeah?
always.
Okay, so let's get some black on there. Again, you've got amazing lashes. Very long. Now we've already curled Helen's lashes. So the Lithe Lash Mascara is going to help to complete the overall look on Helen's eyes. Really open them up. Now as it's party time, I'm going to put this beautiful colour called Cherry Red, which I love. It's going to look lovely on Helen. And I think Helen's wearing a lovely red and black dress later, which will go nicely. Right, so I'm just going to pull your skin tight.
So Helen, we've given you a makeover.
You have? Yes, I've had quite a morning.
You
Yes.
look amazing.
But
It's
thank you for that.
How was it?
Very enjoyable, very interesting, very enjoyable, and very frustrating because I couldn't see myself, could I?
No, but all the beautifying was going on.
Absolutely.
And then you had the big reveal
I
at
know,
the end.
amazing,
Yeah.
absolutely amazing.
Good.
So thank you for that. A really wonderful experience. Thank you.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed
Yes,
it.
I did, very much so.
A great pleasure
Yes.
to give you the makeover. So we were actually in the wellness suite while we were doing that.
Yes.
Do you ever go
Yes,
in there?
it's used about every 3 weeks. The hairdresser comes, and so quite for an afternoon, and probably about 6 or 7 of us use use her, and then sometimes one of the girls who works there does nails, and so she will use that for doing your nails to be done as well. So it gets used from time to time. Yeah. Yeah.
It's really nice to have those facilities actually on site.
Excellent.
So how long have you been living at McCarthy Stone?
Now nearly 3 months. I moved at the end of July.
Okay.
And in the great heat.
Yes.
3 of the hottest days of the year.
Yes. Yes.
We just about
tough.
Finished everybody off, but we managed it.
But you're settled now.
I've got rid of all my boxes, and I'm just about there.
Good.
Yeah.
And how have you found the community here?
Oh, very, 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 well, very, very friendly, very likeable, very intelligent, interesting people who, there's always somebody interesting to chat with, but they don't they don't take you over either. We just get on very, very well. The people that you meet, they are interesting people. Most of them are local. I'm the outsider. As I say to them, they be dragons north of the Thames, because most of them are very, very local. But
But it works well for you.
It's worked well, yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And are there events that you can go to that are organised?
Yes.
And so on? Tell me a bit about that.
We have every Wednesday morning, we have a coffee morning, and in the lounge. And first of all, if there's anyone new to the complex, then they are introduced, because that will happen tomorrow morning. And so that's fine. But Tracy, the estate manager, she also tries to make the coffee morning more than just a coffee morning. So we have little activities as part of the coffee morning, either like a photograph of yourself, and they've got to guess, who you were. That's been one activity. The other week it was you had to tell 2 truths and 1 lie about yourselves, and that was absolutely fascinating. So actually, the activities here, there's always something to look forward to.
Yes.
And the week after, the place will have been open for a year. So we'll have a birthday cake with 1 candle, another little tea party for that. So that's about in 2 weeks' time. And so, we're coming up to Christmas, and there'll be a nice Christmas event when we bring family, so family invited. How Chris will fit everybody in to that dining area, I'm not quite sure.
But it's really nice. It sounds as though you have a lot of fun, and
We
there's
do.
A lot put into making sure that you feel welcomed and comfortable.
Always,
and enjoying
always.
yourselves.
I can't think that anybody arrives who feels shut out.
No.
So everybody who moves in, they are made to feel welcome,
Yeah.
and they can fit in, or it's up to them what they want to do.
Good. So it's a proper community, and
It
you
is.
feel
Yes, it is.
part of something
It
bigger.
is a proper community. And at one point I thought, I don't want to be living with people that are old. But I'm living with people who are old. But they're not old. We don't think of ourselves being old. None of us think of us being old. We're just people. It's really very, very nice.
Sounds
indeed.
brilliant. Thank you, Helen.
Good.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.